state your thoughts, and we move on to the next caller. Make that as short as possible. Chairman, Rivers APC Caretaker Committee says Governor Fubara remains greatest beneficiary of peace deal. President Tinubu commends Governor Fubara's Christmas Day broadcast. Degama Council Chairman silent over destruction of 6 illegal oil refining sites by the Nigerian Air Force, amongst many other headlines in the news this morning. Just tell us your name and where you're calling from and get straight to it. Hello, good morning, Nigeria Info.
Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is David. I'm calling from Nkoro.
Okay.
I want to talk about Tonokocha statement. This one, I'm not very, very happy. How Simfuma get become beneficiary? How? When those who don't resign for office to call them back. I thought it's a learned human being. Now, another one. They have some assembly members. We go APC. They never come back to PDP. You should call them back. They should come and work with you. And you're calling your enemies to come and work with you. Is that a beneficiary? And Bola Tinubu amending the golden governor of Sasim Fubara. Yes, Sasim Fubara is a peacemaker. He's a loving peacemaker. I can see Rivers bubbling with peace. You can see every project booming because of Sasim Fubara. I want to commend Bola Tinubu. I would love him and God love him more. Thank you very much. God bless. I remember that from Nkoro. Good morning. Hello.
All right, Nigeria Info. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mufasa on the line.
Okay, go on.
Well, I want to also disagree with Chief Tony Okocha this morning. When you say the governor is the biggest beneficiary, let us look at the genesis of all these issues. A group of lawmakers went into the State of Assembly the wee hours of the day, to undertake what I will call, purported impeachment for something that is alien to the people of Rivers State. Now, you want to impeach a governor for gross misconduct. We could not explain what amounts to gross misconduct. So for me, it is best to describe as, premature ejaculation. That cannot be, what we call the biggest beneficiary as, the governor being the biggest beneficiary of what they did. The chief was only trying to, massage the ego of his party because he's the leader of the opposition party in the state. So I won't blame him for what he said. Then, Andrew, the issue of fire, I think now we should be more careful with how, we do about, fire and all of that. Because one, this Harmattan season, when fire comes, it becomes very difficult, to quench the fire. Even if we believe that we have fire service operators, but we should be more careful. This season is very, very dry. Anything can happen and fire can just engulf, our place of business or our homes. That's my position this morning. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much. Nigeria Info, good morning. And we lost that call. Let's get on to another one. Hello, good morning, Nigeria Info.
Andrew, compliments of the season.
Compliments of the season to you too.
Yeah, my name is John Amade Alete, calling from Mobidoga this morning.
All right, go ahead.
Andrew, Tony Okocha said similarly Fubara is the great beneficiary of the PD. Andrew, I don't want to emphasize on this matter again. But the way the matter is going, we need to say something. How will a commissioner who have resigned voluntarily without the governor sacking the person, and they are asking the governor to bring them back to come and do what? Andrew, in this case, does it mean that men have lost integrity? Andrew, does it mean that we don't have men of Timber and Caliber who will stand on their word? Andrew, is it that they surrender a similar Fubara with energy? What do they mean? Is the constitution that they signed? Andrew, good morning and have a nice day.
All right, good morning. Hello, Nigeria Info.
Yes, Andrew, good morning. A compliment of the season.
Compliments of the season to you too.
Yeah, my name is Forum and I'm calling you from Eche. Yes, let me look at President Tinubu commending our own governor of Rivers State here and equally what Tony Okocha said. Well, all these things are geared towards maintaining peace in the state. Development cannot come when there's an unrest in the state. Between what Tony Okocha said and what the president has said by commending our own governor, let us all pipe you by bringing fire to what has happened. it has happened. The governor is a chief actor in all what that has happened. And we should allow him. We are taking a stand. And let the stand. Please. We are entering into a new year. Let's allow peace to reign so that development in that state will move forward. Thank you, and God bless us.
All right, thank you. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just take a very quick commercial now. When we come back, we will take some headlines on a few of the newspapers and messages on WhatsApp, very important. So 0809-030-6416. Also remember that you can join us on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. We'll be back after this break. Let's get into some headlines. We begin with the Nation newspaper. President hails Fubara's commitment to peace. Outrage over killings in Plateau State. You would find all of that on the Nation. Tinubu orders security agents to fish out killers of 96 in Plateau State. Okay, federal states councils must join forces on development. Tinubu tells governors. That would be referring to local government chairmen, governors, and the presidency. All have to begin to do their bits, which is striking to me sometimes, because I look at some of the local governments and I'm saying some local governments have been seen as Port Harcourt technically. Like if you look at Obiakpo, you look at even now Ikore local government, Falga. Okay, that's the Port Harcourt. So my question is what the local government chairmen in those local governments really are doing beyond. Some of them I know they do skill acquisitions and the rest of them. I think your allocations are way very big to just end with that. And we know that state government involving, especially under the past administration, most of the roads in those local governments, internal roads, were done by state government. So the question you begin to ask is, what then? Where does the money go to? How the works that the local government chairman in these local governments put on ground, can you compare that to the allocation that comes monthly? Because there's been an increase in that since COVID, a very good increase in the allocations, and worker salaries in local governments, we don't know how far. The 100,000 that the governor said, whether at the local government level it was, we don't know how far. So you would practically understand the president's perspective, because if we're going to get it right, everybody needs to sit up and do what they ought to do. A very well-respected leader had said, it is paying the same amount of attention to the small details and the little things as much as you pay to the big ones and big matters of states. That is what makes you an exceptional leader. And sometimes what we see these days, well, explains itself. Let's look at the Punch now. Apple to appeal US watch ban. Breaking, Portable beats Charles Okocha in celebrity boxing fight. Okay, they've been promoting that everywhere. Well, I don't know if it's a serious fight or not, but there you have the headline. National Assembly reconvenes Friday to pass budget December 30. And Tinubu meets governors, canvasses stronger federal government states collaboration. And then still on the Punch, you'd find this very sad one. Outrage as Plateau massacre claims 150 over 10,000 displaced. The Nation puts it differently when it says 96 people. But here on the Punch, it's saying 150 with 10,000 displaced. Okay. Really sad, especially this season. We're preparing for the new year, and you have people losing their lives, being killed. I'm pretty sure the security agencies would have to step up in those areas and see what they can do. And this is not just in Jos. I know that in Benue State, there also talks about some of these activities in some of the interior communities and villages. It's a sad one, really sad. Let's see any more. Nigeria's diaspora remittances will exceed $20 billion in 2023, World Bank. All right, that's where they are. Now, let's get back to the phone lines. You heard some of the headlines. We'll also look at a few on the Vanguard, but that will be after we'll take a few calls and messages. On Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On X, Nigeria Info PH. Before I take your calls, let's just touch on some of the messages on WhatsApp. Good morning, Andrew. It's unfortunate that Chief Tony Okocha would say Governor Fubara is the greatest beneficiary of the anti-people peace proclamation, whereas the former lawmakers who defected from the PDP weren't ordered to return so as to have the governor at the mercy of impeachment. Well, you heard him say that there are issues in courts that they'd had with regards to the National Secretary. Well, the PDP in Rivers State has not spoken yet. Like I said, I'll continue to try to get in touch with Sidney Gbara. Hopefully, he would give us a bit of his time and just let us in on some of the internal happenings of the PDP. I know he's a very busy person at the moment, hence the reason why it's been difficult to get him. But we'll keep trying. I think it's time we hear directly from the horse's mouth. Andrew, the statement by Tony Okocha this morning, please help me ask him, can him as state governor accept an Opobo man to be speaker? I don't know how ethnicity just got into this and where it came from. If anybody can be anybody's speaker, as long as the person is qualified and can do the job. That's what should be most important now. I don't really understand this cash scarcity resurfacing in Nigeria. CBN need to do something to stop all this suffering facing Nigerians. Christian Williams, I'm wondering too, because the CBN says they are pointing fingers at banks and POS operators. So far, they have not sanctioned any banks. You have not arrested POS operators. POS operators they're into business. Just like you are CBN, you are also into business. That's what you are. You're making money from money. That's what POS operators are there for. They go and source this cash at very expensive cost. They pay transport. They have to stay up at night, however they can to get it. And then they succeed in getting one ATM that works and, or go to the bank. And I know that they have their own dubious ways. Some of them have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 7, 10 accounts and they withdraw at different. But you still can't blame them. It's their account and they have a right to operate it however they want. But this is where we are. The killing in Plateau State is worrisome. Hence, I call on Mr. President to go beyond condemning and issuing statements and embark on proactive actions. Woike Odinaka. One of those actions would be to direct security agencies who are saddled with that responsibility to investigate and make sure corporates are brought to book. I think that's one of the fundamental things that the president would have to do. It is when they fail that you can consider employing somebody and removing somebody. This one says the world and Rivers people should be aware that target now is on personal aids to Right Honorable Edison here. First, it was Chime Eguma, who was weeks away to an unknown destination, 16th of December. And then he said, till date, no one knows his whereabouts. Today, again, 23rd December, Oseja Amezi escaped assassination attempt along Edo Abua Road by unidentified individuals. If they are unidentified, how did you know that they were the same people that whisked away the other person? Not to say that we shouldn't take it seriously, but I think rather than just putting that on radio and saying this, because there's little we can do here in Nigeria Info. We can't investigate. We can't go after whoever did what they did. I think the first thing you would have done was to go to the police and inform the appropriate quarters and let them know what is happening. And then from there, we can then maybe have a conversation around what this is. May God protect us all. Amen. Oseja Obume from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much. Nigeria Info, your name, where you're calling from. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Pastor Isaiah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Andrew. Yes, compliment of the
I wish you the same, my friend.
Yes, Andrew. Now, if I may ask, when the commissioners tender their resignation, they told Rivers people or Nigerians that they were resigning as a result of any crisis. Some of them said it was because of their conscience. Some of them said they are going for other meaningful engagement. They have other things to do and all of that. Is it not what they told us? Now, if Tony Okocha is coming to say that it was because of the problem that is brewing up between the governor and the former governor, is that not a confusing statement? Now, in that very meeting at Abuja, also, a situation where the president is supposed to call for a meeting and ask from both sides that what we heard was that already written presidential order came and ordinarily was the one that read that statement out. Is that a concrete, genuine resolution process? I think that if the governor chooses to accept peace or maybe let peace reign and choose to bow to the former governor, well, that is his own. But to me, we are still standing firmly that we will not accept anything because the people's mind is greater than the federal mind.
All right, Isaiah, thank you. And secondly, the governor did not say he's bowing to any former governor. It was very clear. There was a resolution reached, and he made a statement to say, well, it's for peace. I'll quote him again. The worst peace is better than the best war. And he says he's going to do what he can to honor that agreement to the extent that it does not paraphrasing now, damage or hinder the freedom and the will of Rivers people. So we'll see how he begins to implement it going forward and what he means by that. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Hello, my name is Mike. I'm calling from Accra.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. You'd have to speak up, Mike. We can barely hear you.
I don't even know APC where them and because it did the role APC story. It's a shame no president is talking. And October to thank you, sir. I really say sorry for it is not this stuff, it's a pity stuff. It's about the governor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Even though it was difficult to make heads or tail out of what you were saying. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Good morning, the very distinguished Ifemi Andrew. How are you doing this morning?
Fantastic. Go on. Your name and where you're calling from.
Compliment of the season. I remain the very distinguished at the temple. Okay, very important. In as much as I'm concerned, I think it's a very good one that the president is commending my governor for towing the path of peace and continuously emphasizing on that path. I think there is no way development can thrive without peace. And if you look at what is happening within the Conference of Rivers State, and the commitment the governor has continuously emphasized in ensuring that he protects the interests of Rivers people, and he will do at nothing than ensuring that every look and cranny of Rivers State is being developed. I think for me, everybody who loves the governor should toe on that line of peace. The very distinguished Ifemi Andrew, at this point in time, if we must tell ourselves the truth as the people, the banks are there blaming the asset bank being the CBN. The CBN is also there blaming the bank. On the upper, thank God they have the CBN branch here in Port Harcourt. Can today set up what I call, a monitoring team to investigate the activities of these commercial banks. Today, look at what Amefle is passing through within the hands of the anti-corruption agencies. Carrying big bank, what they call it, Bible, and whatever is seen on the screen of the television. Can also do something different at this point in time? Or is he waiting the time the EFCC and the ITPC will come to him? He will still carry big Bible as the matter is doing now. Please, they should help us.
All right,
some of us that have 1 or 2 naira, so that they can make use of it this season.
Nigeria Info, good morning.
Good morning, my brother, man.
Welcome. Good morning to you. Go on.
Thank you. My name is Goodness. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
Now, let me continue from the last caller. The bank issue, only branch issue. Now, what is the difference between the Mercedes time and if the cash crunch would be so hard and bad by now, why still holding it city? Because Emefiele should be left free because, for all, the president asked him to do what he did, and we heard Mr. President, what President Buhari spoke. There was no cash in Nigeria that year, and it is happening now. And that was how Emefiele, under Emefiele, bank CBN was blaming commercial banks. Commercial banks were blaming the CBN. The same thing is happening now. Where are we going from here? No new notes out. The new note the Emefiele says is printing. They stopped. We are not seeing it. Now some people they say, when we talk, they don't say catch and make them kill us. That we talk too much. We are alleging. We are talking what we don't know. We take us to court. But meanwhile, it's affecting us. Meanwhile, in their own houses, they have these cash in millions. Local government chairman, for me, the money they get, the highest thing I've seen they do is to build markets and swatch the rest money and put it on media and went to and say they are doing projects. I pray local government to help our local government. Finally, the massacre in Plateau State. My brother, when I heard it from CNN, I wept. While Nigeria was saying 30, CNN said 150. Until the governor came out and said over 100. I wept. What are the crimes of these men? And you tell me that 20 communities at a time, who are their sponsors? My name is Good News.
All right, Good News. Thank you very much. Nigeria Info, good morning.
My name is Akanto. I'm calling from Akanto Street here in Borogon.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, good Tony Okocha has a deep blue that the Excellency the Governor of Rivers State became beneficiary of the Abuja imposition deal. Go to me, I agree with Tony Okocha because what he said and one of the sister stations last Saturday too. God is a great time. How we get Governor of Rivers to be a great time beneficiary. And I will rule all these things. Other stakeholders are remain mood and going about the spirit and the physical of this agreement. And again, the matter is before the competent court of jurisdiction. Every now and then, Tony Okocha running all the radio stations in Rivers State, igniting fire here and then. But the Governor of Rivers State is a peace-loving man who said he will implement part that will not jeopardize my freedom, your freedom, their freedom of people, of majority of people of Rivers State, and right-thinking people of Rivers State. They don't look at it because I know the governor is very cool-headed man. They will not do anything, implement anything that will jeopardize the freedom and the right of people. What about the House of Assembly people that jump from their political party that has no crisis, no two board of trustee in Nigeria, no two working committee of PDP in Nigeria, not divided habits. And again, somebody just jumped overnight from that party to another party. Have they read Section 108, 109 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended? And somebody who resigned, consciously resigned, men of integrity of Rivers State, who resigned for their position, that governors should go to their house and beg them and rename their house. And House of Assembly can choose any area, including their private house, to sit and to do it. And if it's coming there, no. I say no to Okocha. This will not survive this time around.
All right.
God bless him.
Thank you. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Good morning, Itemi Andrew.
Morning to you.
Yes. APC caretaker chairman in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, said Governor Sim is the greatest beneficiary of the peace deal. Well, to me, sometimes Tony Okocha might be correct because even the way Governor Sim has been responding to this issue, I think during his Christmas statement to Rivers people, he confirmed that that is not a problem much to him. And so, for me, in one of my statement too, comment I made, I think I made people to understand that we cannot cry more than they bereaved. Because our people used to say one thing in my language. They say, ne a little bit or aye, ne a little bit or aye poto, ne a little bit swan. Now, what it means is that the person winning the fight, the person that is not fighting, is telling the person fighting that he should hold his leg and don't know what the man fighting going through. So it is only Sim Fubara that understands what is going on and why he's making those response, which we are not conversant with. Then lastly, on the issue of the president meeting with the governors and advising them, mostly this affects the local government, mostly the local government chairman. The way they handle the workers at the local government level. Did you believe that up till now, the local government workers have not received salary? The increment they talk about with regard to the minimum wage, nothing has been done about it. Even the money Sim promised to give workers, they don't even know whether that will also affect the local government workers or not. And you don't even understand what they use this money for, because they believe that this is where the problem is coming from. The local government chairman should be held responsible for what is going on.
Okay, thank you very much. But then Nigeria Info is not aware of any sharing, and we cannot verify where you got your information from, even though there have been rumors and speculations that, some of these local government chairmen, from the allocations, they put out money and to their godfathers for political purposes, etc., or to strong men in the local government, whatever you want to call it. Well, those reports and rumors have been going on for years, but then we're yet to get facts to back that up and verify that indeed this is what happens with those monies. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Engineer Yete, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in statement of Antonio Okocha with what is happening in Rivers State. I don't belong to any political party, but I've studied every move, and I've discovered that everything is there towards turning Rivers State into APC seat. All the local government chairmen, the governor, very soon they will announce their defection. They are not going to remove the governor. He has agreed to that. That is my own observation, my own calculation that way. So just watch out. They have agreed to do that. The job people will not worry because things will not be removed. But Rivers State, to me, is already APC state. And that has been the target. All these crises is centered around that. And that is why you see APC chieftain becoming more interested, outspoken on the issue. The party held in Abuja with the president is to concretize that with the governor. That has been done. The former governor Wike said he's going to destroy PDP. And you know, Rivers State is the anchor of PDP in Nigeria. And once Rivers State turns to APC state, forget about PDP again. So that is my own. I am not seeing it from the ethnic side of it or any other side. It's only based on the fact that Rivers State must be APC state, and that they are concluded.
All right. Well, various postulations and analysis around this. In fact, some people even had much more to say, especially when the presidential candidate of the PDP called for a merger of political parties. And it also got people talking. What would now be the name? So if the PDP joins with who, what name would it now be? Does that mean the end of PDP? Well, I mean, there's been a lot said about it, but we'll see what the coming days will bring. Let's take some messages now on Facebook. Oswald Francis says the killing of Katsina traders and that of Plateau people is quite unfortunate, disheartening and condemnable. Ogo Jonah Justice says 150 people killed in Plateau State, not until people take responsibility for underperformance, poor performance and relieve them of their appointment. We can't be serious in this country and with the issue of governance. Thank God Ability says if Tinubu said all status quo should be maintained by the warring parties, then the lawmakers that defected to PDP to APC should return back to PDP. Obioma Noble says President Tinubu commends Governor Sim. The commendation to me is a good one. Let everyone pipe low. Peace has to come to stay in Rivers State. Let everyone embrace the peace. On X, you can also drop your comments, and we have a number of them coming in. At Chris_Oka on X says the governor of Rivers State has severally acknowledged the agreement and promised to abide by it. Crisis entrepreneurs should stop distracting the governor by asking him to go into a fight with his predecessor. At Skiful_Peru says banks are blaming CBN. CBN are blaming banks for scarcity of money. This is a sign of a failed country. You know, the only thing I can say is that Nigerians would have to think. For me, let's think about this. The CBN has said last time the CBN said it was the banks, and there was so much fingers pointed towards the banks that we even had people attacking banks and destroying facilities. Now, after all of that, fast forward till now, when was the last time you saw a new note? Remember, these money banks, commercial banks have no powers to print notes. So when was the last time you saw a new old note? When was the last time you saw a new old Naira note? And even the new redesigned note, when was the last time? Is it in high circulation? No, it's not. So I think we should just look at what is in front of us and think, who should we be asking or holding responsible? Secondly, could it also be that in tandem with the plan to reduce cash in circulation and encourage online banking, that is why we're seeing what we're seeing? If that is the case, why is the scarcity coming during this period and not long before now? Is this what it's going to be next year, where we now have to depend solely on banking online most of the times, and cash that you can access will be just little amounts of it? So there's a lot of questions around that. That we need to think about. At Justice Ori on X says, Justice, sad to learn that despite the news of death from pipeline explosion, people still vandalize pipelines and scoop petrol content. Please, let's refrain from that illegal pursuit, he says. Well, thank you very much. Well, that's where we draw the curtain for a commercial now. After the commercial, we come back and take some few messages on WhatsApp and maybe some more on Facebook before we go for the news at 7. Stay tuned.
Just in, a man lost his life savings to a scammer using the QNet.